thank you so much for doing our Christmas special.
Yes.
So, for you that don't know, these are our children. Austin Gibson. Say hi, Austin.
Hi, guys. It's Austin Gibson.
Chandler Gibson.
Hi, it's Chandler Gibson.
Nicole.
Hi, it's Nickole.
So, guys, thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Are you excited for Christmas?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Are you
Big Christmas
ready
guy.
for all the gifts you're going to get, Dad?
Yes.
I'm ready for the gifts I'm gonna get.
Big Christmas guy.
Oh, good.
Really?
Good. You're a big Christmas guy?
Oh, my birthday. It's like my second favorite holiday. My birthday is the first one. But this is a close second.
Why is Christmas
Jesus'
second for you?
Well, it's because, you know, Jesus' birthday was in March. You know, this is just a celebration. So, like, my birthday is just, it's a day about me. So,
About you.
yeah.
All right.
Pretty
Well, I
great.
feel like that sets the tone, huh, guys?
Oh yeah.
That sets the tone.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks so much for doing that. We're excited. We like to start with two very serious questions.
Okay.
And kind of break the ice. That way you guys can just be chill and be yourself afterwards.
Sweet.
Great.
Okay, so each have to answer them?
Well,
You each answer them. Okay, so we'll just, do you want to start?
Okay. Who do you guys think has played the best Batman?
Don't even know who played one of them.
Christian Bale.
I was gonna say Christian Bale because it's the only one I know.
You're the only one you know?
Well,
I feel like I
Michael
failed.
Keane was pretty good,
Come
too.
on,
Don't know who
play.
that is.
Yeah.
That's you don't know until you watch it. Yeah, Christian Bale got to be number one.
You think Christian Bale's
He's
number
just
one?
been fantastic. They're good movies. Christian Bale's
Great, yeah.
He took the lead, man.
All right.
Yeah, Christian Bale because he's the only one I know.
Christian Bale.
Who's your guys' favorite Batman?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Christian Bale.
Great.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right, Mom.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, well, very serious question. Between me and your mom, who do you love most? No, I'm kidding.
In what context?
All right. Between me and Mom, who's Batman, who's Robin?
Batman Robin.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Based on size?
Are you serious?
Of course they're serious.
Of course,
absolutely.
yeah. Batman Robin.
Robin.
Yeah.
Dad's like very much like in the he's like the face of everything.
Yeah.
You're just like, hi.
I mean, who do you see on a Sunday more often?
Who's up there preaching?
Listen, you know,
Hey, Batman
Robin's
needs-
like
Robin
Batman's
has
wife.
his time to
He needed
shine.
him for a couple, movies. He's out.
Oh, man.
He wasn't even in the good ones.
Well, you're
Well,
all
guys.
grounded, but
Glad your birthday's your favorite holiday. 'Cause
we saved a lot of money on this Christmas. Oh, well, guys, I want to tell you, I've never been more proud of you as your dad.
You're welcome.
Good answers,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good answers.
yeah, well, we'll talk later.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
So, guys, listen, we're going to talk a lot about your journey with God and kind of just our family journey as we just kind of in remembrance of what the season means and kind of like what our walk has been.
Yeah.
And, most people don't know that, we got saved when our family got saved, probably when you guys were, you were probably around 8, 7, 8, around this, you were little. And then we went out to California years later to plant a church, and we were there for an amazing time, and then came back to Michigan to lead the church, one of the churches here. And so we really just want to talk about how that journey impacted you. And we know Chandler, as a young man, had some medical issues, and he was sick a lot, and just how that impacted him and how it impacted our family. Just like your story. Does that make sense? So we'll start with Austin and kind of go down the line.
Great.
All right. So Austin, how old were you when you got saved?
I think I was 8 years old.
8 years old?
8 years old. So, yeah, I was 8 years old. Right tender age at 8.
Yeah. What was that like? Tell us how it happened.
So, obviously before we weren't really saved a lot.
Yeah.
And didn't really
A lot. Or at all.
We were kind of saved.
There's not really halfway, but I didn't really, I've never really heard about Jesus as a kid a little bit. Not even in school, really. It was more something that you were young, you didn't really talk about that kind of stuff with the people around you. And so my first encounter with Jesus was when we came here on a Sunday for the first time. And I just we were in kids class, praying, worshiping, and doing their fun stuff or whatever. And that was like kind of the first experience I had with kind of like religion and stuff. And I think it was either the first or second time where I definitely felt the presence of God, and I just felt the heaviness, and I felt like that it was a tangible feeling of who God was. It wasn't just like some guy in the sky, like he was there, you could feel it. And so I quickly became overwhelmed with just the presence of God. I gave my life to Jesus that day. Then on the second week that we came here, I fell in love with it the first week. So I was just ready to go, and I just quickly just dove into it. I was very excited. Everything was new. I was the only one saved at first, and then everybody else slowly came along. So, in the family, I am Batman. The trailblazer.
The talent.
Yeah, the talent. Quickly kind of just I learned about baptism. I really wanted to get baptized, so I got baptized at probably a couple months later. It wasn't really that much longer.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, yeah. Not even a month. I was just it was a couple weeks later, and then I think probably soon thereafter I started speaking in tongues. I was in the kids' K-5 room. We were standing all against the wall. They were like, "Hey, do you want to speak in tongues?" Like, absolutely. Like, do you want to get baptized in the Holy Spirit? I was like, heck yeah. So Hannah Dugan prayed for me in tongues. At first, I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is they're speaking a whole new language now. And so he prayed over me, and I started doing it. At first, I was kind of like really secretive about it with everybody. I was like, I want this to be my thing, right? So I'd go in my room, I'd speak in tongues, do my own thing, and then slowly I kind of was like, I've been baptized in the Holy Spirit for a couple months now. So and then we did the summer internship, and that's when I started to learn about evangelism and prophesying, and that was always really fun and pretty scary, but I just knew Joe Fowler's my man. He was the guy to go with when we went evangelizing, because you actually saw some stuff done. Nobody was scared of Joe Fowler.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So that we did that. That was awesome. That was a huge kind of milestone in my life, just into realizing and seeing the work of God and what He can do in the world.
Yeah.
Then we moved to California. That was a whole new experience of like trying to, not just be a Christian in church, but also be a Christian outside of church with all your friends in school, because you're a pastor's kid now. So it's like, I know it's like, they get a better rap, but it's like, there's a lot of, like everybody's looking at you for that. Like they know your dad's a pastor, they're looking at you. So that kind of just made it so I had to be really serious about it. Not be like, not lollygag. So that was kind of cool to kind of grow up and from high school, kind of just instead of being just that crazy silly kid, being the crazy silly kid, but he's a Christian. Kind of. So that was always good. Learned to evangelize even more with going to the mall and praying for people. That was always fun. And then came back, did youth, just slowly just started learning to operate with pastoral, more stuff, like learning about more pastoral stuff. And it's been good so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Big long journey.
That you summed up in 5 minutes.
Listen, got it short, quick to the point.
How about you, Chan?
Mine's slightly different.
Yeah.
I was probably 7.
Yeah.
7, maybe just turned 8.
Yeah.
When we first went, and then it took me a minute to get baptized because I didn't trust my dad doing it in a hot tub for some reason. I thought Greg and Sandy's lake was much safer. Don't know why, I just not doing that. Yeah. But most of my kids' church, I was, medical.
Yeah.
So I'd be in the corner passed out.
Yeah.
So it was a lot different than Austin. Because Sundays we'd do kids' church. They'd be having fun, I'd be in the corner.
Yeah. You were sick.
Yeah, I was sick.
Yeah.
And Mom's tearing up.
Sorry.
Already?
Well, we 5 minutes in.
Yeah, so we'd go to church on Sunday. Every Sunday we'd pray. Andrew used to spray bottles of oil on me, just Gatorade toss. And then we'd go to the doctors and do all that every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a different experience with, every day being, having hands laid on me,
Yeah.
being touched by gods in different ways. Because like
Yeah.
I go to the doctor and be like, you got 6 months left.
Yeah.
You know, and like sitting in that hospital being told you got 6 months left as a 7-year-old, that doesn't hit you the same way it does
Sure.
your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going through that was weird because everyone's having fun and you're just not really with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't be. I mean, I'm now like starting to get into more stuff
Yeah.
that I felt like if I wouldn't have been, so medically challenged.
Yeah.
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 I feel like I would have had a better head start on that stuff.
Sure.
But I feel like that really helped me get to know who God was, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to sit in that medical room and then being like, you don't got much longer than knowing like God's like, no, you got years.
Yeah.
You
That's
got
so good.
time. You're gonna get
Yeah.
through this.
Yep.
It was great to see not only what he did through me, but what he did through you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You okay?
That's heavy.
Oh man. Now that wow, that hit me.
Sorry. buddy.
Good job.
And now when like I look at other people going through a hard time, I know like they can get through that. 'Cause I got through it, and I know that like they got. I had Jordan and Andrew like super by my side.
Yeah.
They never left. They still haven't. And I know that I can like go to them. I knew at 10 years old I could go to Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great to have that at 10, and it's even better to have it now.
Yeah.
I stepped down from youth, and Jordan, he was like, I know you're gonna do bigger and better things. You may have left, and we'll let you back. We have no problem bringing you back if you want to step back into youth.
Yeah.
But after that, it was hard leaving here when we went for California, because it was just left family.
Yeah.
I've never been that close with anyone in my life, and to just go to California, that hurt. That hurt me. But I mean, even then it was amazing. Matt and Lola, they were amazing evangelizing. I forget what the outlet mall is called. Going to the park and playing with some of the other kids, talking to them about Jesus. And coming back and seeing all the family again.
Yeah.
That was great. It's been an amazing journey. It's a mess.
Doing a good job,
You did
buddy.
good, Chandler.
Yeah.
Take it away, Nickole. That's my journey.
That's a good one, Chan.
That was
Yeah.
really good. Wow.
I mean, Jordan did leave you when he went to Australia, but you can add that back in there. Just kidding.
I was a lot shorter than 3 years.
That's true. That is true.
How about for you, Nickole?
Well, we started coming to the church when I think I was 4.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand anything. I was like, oh my gosh, yay, we're coming here for like a fun time. I thought worship was just like a party. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I was talking to Mom about this the other day. I think that I was like 7 when I got baptized. And that was like a crazy experience. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm baptized. I'm a new person. I remember going over to my friend's house and be like, I'm baptized. Like, I'm like a cool kid now. And like I was telling her, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
I was starting to find my place. I was like making friends with everyone, and I don't know, I finally felt like I like was understanding everything, because my entire life I've had a really hard time comparing myself to Austin and Chandler, because I was like, oh, they're here.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here. So when I was younger, I was like, oh, like I need to understand this faster. So when we moved to California, I was like, this is like my time to like understand everything and like make this my moment. And we moved there. I became friends with a lot of people. I was like, I joined a bunch of groups I was too scared to join when we lived here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, a new start. And then I came home one day, and you guys sat us down and said, how do you feel about like moving back to Michigan? And I was like, you have to be kidding me. And so I wanted to be like, no, this isn't happening. Like, we're staying here. I'm in track and cross country. Like, no.
Yeah, you're killing it.
I'm popular. Like, guys, keep things away. But then I turned around and I saw that Austin and Chandler were both just like crying. So I was like, crud, I have to be strong. So I was like, you know, this is what God is calling us to do. I was like, I'm going to be so cool again as like a 11-year-old. And then I just like remember Mom going, okay, you have to go upstairs now. And I just started crying because I was like, I don't want to leave because like California was my home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was different for Chandler and I. Like, Michigan was his home. California was my home.
Yeah.
So when we moved back here, I had a really hard time, like, not being mad at God for calling us back here because I felt like he took us away from everything that I loved and everyone that I loved. Because when we first moved back here, we didn't move back here with Chad and Nickole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, they were still there. Steve and Kara was still there, and they were a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And so I, like, went to church, but I wasn't really at church. I was like, I want to go home. I'd go in the car, like, right after, like, the meetings, and I would just sit and, like, be like, I don't really want to be here right now. And, like, same for youth. I was like that kid that nobody wanted to talk to because I like looked like I didn't want to be there. And then Austin was like, hey, I'm here. And so, and it was like that for a while. And then I met Megan, and Megan just really flipped my life around. And I like started getting into praying more and like actually talking to God. And then at one of the summer rushes, I got baptized in the Holy Spirit. And started speaking in tongues, which was like a terrifying moment of my life because I felt like I did it way too late. Sure. And I was so scared to tell my parents about it because I was like,
where are your parents?
I was so scared to tell you guys. Sorry, I was looking at the floor.
Nice to meet you.
I was scared to tell you guys about it because I was like, oh, they're going to be like, you should have done that way earlier. Because in my head, I was like, I need to be here. When in reality, I was like, nowhere there.
Yeah.
So I started getting into the Bible and like started getting really into like loving God because for a while I just was like, no, I don't want it. I didn't want to be a Christian because of I was like, if I'm a Christian, then I'm going to be constantly pulled away from things I love.
Sure.
And what's the point in that if I'm never going to feel settled? So that flipped once I started getting into youth, obviously. Yeah. And then I just fell in love with youth. So I started doing everything that I could to help youth. And Megan became my discipler, and like I started getting really into that. And yeah, so that's kind of my journey, like kind of up and down. Now we're on the up way, like getting more into that, but not as sad. I'm still like kind of choked up from Chandler's
Can I start over? Just kidding. I was a fat kid. My hair was all jacked up, and I didn't shower all the time.
Wow.
The Floby haircut.
Hey, the Floby was good, guys. The Floby was good.
The Floby was terrible. Like every time I tell the hairdresser or the people who cut my hair, I used to get my hair cut by the Floby, they go, ooh, like I bet you that sucked. Yep.
It was great.
It pulls the hair.
It doesn't cut it. Oh.
Guys, those are great testimonies. Let me ask you just some questions, right? Like, so you guys, all of you got saved young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then your walk with God had different experiences, right? And for Austin, it was based on excitement. Chandler like constantly had to find faith and dependence. Mm-hmm. And then for you were just kind of. It sounds like as you're telling us, you kind of felt like you were just along for the ride.
Yeah.
And that in your mind, us going to California was good, but God calling us back here. That was a disappointment for you.
Yeah.
And it affected you in a way where you had to come back in alignment with what God was calling you to. Mm-hmm. So as, like, for each one of you have a unique experience, but you're all in the same house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for you? Did you guys talk about it amongst yourselves ever?
I think we just kind of knew, like, there was a difference between our walks. Yeah. I think we kind of just knew. I mean, we're
all so different.
Yeah, and we're all different personality-wise. Yeah. We all have different callings, and so I think it's just something that different shapes. You got Winnie the Pooh, and Piglet. I don't know, but I think it was just something that we all kind of understood.
Sure. Yeah.
Because we all had different experiences. We all were doing different things,
and we're all like
Yeah.
like especially for me, Austin and I are such different ages. So I was like, obviously,
Yeah.
we're at a different place.
I don't
So
know if we ever talked about
I don't think we ever talked about
No,
it.
but it was
no.
like, you know, Chandler was doing drums and sound. He was doing all this, and like I wanted to be on stage, or I wanted to be doing this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like our roles were different. And then
Yeah.
Nicole's always just kind of hanging out with all the girls.
I was in the
and doing all
background.
yeah, it's like there, like we knew that there was a difference between how we were raised and what we're called to. Because I mean, you guys would tell us that all the time. Right?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I used to be like, why do Chandler and Nicole not have to do this? Or like, why do I have to do this? Because it's like, and then you were like, it's because you guys are called to different things. Like, I'm not. It's not like you're not a cookie cutter Christian. Like
Yeah.
you are your own individual person. So
Yeah.
we can't, you know, treat you like Chandler or Nickole, or we can't treat Nickole and Chandler like you. So it's like
Yeah.
that's kind of a big spotlight for like we're different. Like we're not trying to raise all our kids as the same Christian. Like
Yeah.
we're trying to give them their raise them to their strengths. So
For sure.
that's kind of like a good way to tell that
Yeah.
it's different.
So Chandler, what are some of the things that you think me and Mom did well in having a household of faith?
Asking us what we thought was best.
Yeah.
Like when we moved, I thought asking us was great.
Yeah.
Asking what we thought, asking us to pray. Because when you asked, like, do you want to move back to Michigan? I was like, nah. Absolutely no. And then you're like, you sat us all down. You're like, yeah, let's just talk as a family. It wasn't just you and Mom making that decision.
Yeah, sure.
It was a family effort. We all knew after, you know, we talked about it, and me and Austin were like, nah, we're staying.
Yeah.
After we prayed, it was like, yeah, we were called back.
Yeah.
But if you were like, all right, guys, we're moving to Michigan, who knows where we would have been?
Right. Yeah.
Could have been completely different.
Probably would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Nickole? What are some of the things you think me and Mom did well?
Not being afraid to talk about faith and like not sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
And like being raw about like the struggles and like, you know what I mean? Like not like the struggles that come along with faith, but just the reality of like people are gonna view you different and like even though this is cool, that doesn't mean that you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just like being able to like be honest and not treating us different because of our ages too, and
Sure.
like being able to have the same conversations with us was very helpful too.
Yeah.
So just like being honestly like really raw and vulnerable with us was like amazing.
That's good. So, Austin, tell me something that we did as parents that you would never do as a parent.
There's a list, Austin, apparently.
Oh my word! Apparently you got quite
Since
the
Olivia's
list.
pregnant. Just kidding. We are doing things to get pregnant.
Anyways, all right.
Well, listen, we had a conversation about this.
Yep.
I definitely would think making school more of a priority for my kids. Just
Really?
because I know you guys were very,
Really?
you know, like...
Get it done. Get the GED.
So let me ask you a question on that vein. More of a priority.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I had to deal with you in school, right? How would you have done that differently?
Yeah, how would you have done that differently?
I
So
would've-
you're trying
as a
to
kid-
get
as a
you.
kid.
No, you
As a
got.
parent.
Yeah.
You're trying to get you
You're
to care
trying
about
to get
school.
you to do
Oh,
school.
well,
How would you do that differently?
Well, listen, you know, hey, I'm gonna check your portal every day.
Right?
Right.
Check.
Sit you down.
Yep.
And
Okay.
we're gonna do homework. I'm gonna watch you do homework. Make sure that you're doing it, and then I'm gonna go play my Xbox. Okay.
Can we
I'm gonna come back and you're
visit
done
this
yet?
in a year?
Yeah. Okay.
I just, you know, I still gotta talk. You know, I gotta figure it out. I'm not a parent yet, so I don't know. But that's one thing that I wish I want to prioritize for my kid a little bit more.
A little bit more school.
Little bit
Yeah,
more
a little
school.
more school. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. I think I like that.
Thank you.
How about
Everything
you,
else
Chan?
you did, got did great.
Great save.
How about you, Chan? When you think of like us as parents, you think about when you raise kids, what would be something you think, you know what, I'd want to do that different? Maybe not that mom and dad did it wrong, maybe we did do it wrong, but what would be some of the things you would want to do different?
Maybe like chores.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little old for chores now.
I'm out of that. I say chores are great. My laundry will be at the house tomorrow.
I mean, from like, you know, like 10 to, what are you, Nickole?
I'm 16.
Cool, 10 to 17. Having them like do chores,
All right.
I feel like would have set them better for like responsibility.
Sure. All right.
Because you were just like, oh, you didn't do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Do it tomorrow.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Dad was too nice.
Where was that conversation? I did not get that conversation. It's okay, do it tomorrow. Awesome,
Or
why
do
is
it-
this
do it
done?
later?
Are you kidding me? Come on. We've been over this.
I was sick.
A good answer.
Wow, okay.
Nickole, same to you. What would you?
Because I'm picking up on the chore
See-
thing right now.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, I didn't say that.
I'm moving
I didn't say that.
That's for my
Honestly,
kids.
I'm not like saying this to be nice. I genuinely can't think of anything.
Oh.
Like I've been sitting here like thinking of something,
Sure.
but I
Yeah.
genuinely don't know.
Yeah, we should have said
Like
that.
maybe if I sit down and like really think about it,
No need.
I'll be able to
Oh,
come.
no need,
Extra
girl.
Christmas.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it how when we had this discussion, just me, you, and Mom, Nickole had many.
Actually,
Pre-recorded.
talked about it the other day.
I had
and-
one.
Yeah.
100.
One.
What was it? What was it?
Just like giving us, letting us be able to choose what we want to do instead of being forced to do it.
Yeah, that one too.
I never got
Yes.
forced to do anything.
Clearly, we should have forced chores.
Yeah, forced to diet.
Forced
school.
or
Yeah, school. Chores are great.
so
I'm
I
glad
guess
didn't do
kind
chores.
of what they're saying. Forced to do chores. Forced
All
to do
right.
homework.
All right. There you go.
Well, listen, Nicole's
I
still in the house.
cheated.
Good news. You're still in the house. You're still in the house.
Still in the house. So that sounds like
Chandler, you can start
got a
that
job.
tomorrow. Empty the dishwasher.
I did it last.
All right. Awesome. So tell us, like, now, like, obviously the dynamic of our house has changed,
Very
right?
much so,
Yeah.
You know, Austin's moved out. He's married. You guys are, still in the house. Still
Doing chores.
Doing chores from now on.
Yeah.
So how has this been this season with God for each one of you? Like, what are the things that God's highlighting to you now? Start with Austin.
You're Batman, so.
Absolutely. Batman. Am I Robin?
What am I?
Nickole can
The
fight.
butler?
You're the Batmobile.
Nickole can fight. I just, it's a good question.
Well, if anybody knows you.
Yeah, you guys
I
can go
know.
ahead.
Go ahead,
okay.
Nickole.
I thought about this on the way to McDonald's because I thought this was going to be asked. So I prepared.
way to go.
Honestly, not saying no to things because I'm scared.
Sure.
For a really long time, I just said no to everything because I was like, no, like that's out of my comfort zone. I'm okay. I'll dip out of that.
Yeah.
But pretty recently, like I've been asked to do something, I would say no, but then they would ask me again because like, they felt like I was supposed to do it. So like just like allowing myself to grow instead of feeling like, oh, I shouldn't be there yet, or like, oh, like I don't want to grow.
Yeah.
So just like being more open to like learning what I actually want to do and what I'm actually called for instead of what I think I'm supposed to be called for.
Sure.
So
That's good.
Good job.
I think for me, this whole year I went through a journey of like wanting to read the whole Bible.
Yeah.
So Olivia and I started this Bible reading plan back in January.
Yeah.
And so right now we're almost done since
Yeah.
it's coming to the end of the year. It's awesome. But I think the coolest part of that journey, and like what God highlighted me the most, is like seeing Jesus in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of like it's bringing that, like seeing Jesus in the Old Testament, which I thought was like, why read the Old Testament? We don't need it. We don't follow it. Like everything. The only stuff that matters is after Mark. After Matthew, we're good. We're good after that. But I think taking that and bringing it into life is like, where do you see Jesus in your life where you didn't before? So
Yeah.
it's like in Old Testament, I always thought there's no Jesus in there, and then after reading it, it's like there's Jesus everywhere. Like literally, he is the whole. Like he's in the whole thing from beginning to end. Like he's actively doing things in the Bible and even in the Old Testament, and then like bringing that into life where it's like he's actively moving in these areas of my life because he's here, he's real, and like there's things that he's doing that I didn't even know or realize that was going on. So
yeah, that's good.
That's good. For me, it's really been more of like what God's been doing, being more aware of what He's doing. Because I know doing worship and sound, like a couple months ago, I'd sit in the sound booth during practice and just check Instagram,
Sure.
make sure it sounds good, and be like, cool. But over the last since Austin's moved out, it's been different.
Yeah.
Because like now it's 4 of us, and like usually it's like, all right, Austin, can you do this? And I was like, all right, I gotta take charge. I gotta be aware of what's going on. And that's really changed throughout work and church because I'm like, where's God in this moment? What's the presence
That's
doing?
good. Mm-hmm.
Who's being impacted in different ways? Who's doing something on the stage that could really change the atmosphere?
Yeah.
So that's really it for me.
That's good.
It's good.
Winning.
Gotta be crying. Gotta be saying, "Aw."
2-0, baby. Who's
So,
Batman?
can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
So you said earlier when you were talking about your lifelong journey in 1 minute,
Yeah.
you said being a pastor's kid or like a leader's kid, a PK,
PK.
right?
PK. Big PK guy.
Big PK guy.
Right. What, for you guys, what was the hardest part in that for you as kids?
Oh, the
right?
pressure.
I think it's the pressure and like the stereotype that comes with being being the pastor's kid. It's like every time I tell somebody I'm the pastor's kid, like, are you that pastor kid or are you like that pastor kid? And so like
You a
trying
good
to
pastor kid or you a bad pastor kid?
so like that pressure of trying to outside in the world, trying to like show them I'm not like that. Like I love God. I'm doing this. I'm not gonna do what other pastor kids do, or like I'm not just the pastor. So like I'm not the only reason I'm not a Christian is because my dad's a Christian. Like I have my own walk with God, and so like that's why I don't stray and do my own thing. Like I have faith, and my faith isn't my dad's faith; it's my faith.
That's
And I
good.
think the pressure within the church also. It's like you're the pastor's kid. And so, like, we expect this out of you, or like,
100%,
or
yeah.
like this is like if you do this, like there's this is what you should be doing, kind of thing. So I feel like there's like you're on a pedestal, or not like a pedestal, but it's like all eyes are on you if you do something stupid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, all eyes are on you if you mess up or do something.
You mess
They
up,
probably
everyone's
should.
gonna know about it because your dad's gonna say it.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I go to a whole different campus and I still hear about things you said. I was like, hey man, I heard your dad said that
100%.
about you this Sunday. Oh, come on. That was one time.
It was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but like just trying to overcome that pressure,
Yeah.
basically.
How about for you, Chan?
It's the same.
Yeah.
Going to the same high school. Me and Austin's. Well, my friends were Austin's friends
Yeah.
because I was the popular one.
Never
That was in
let
middle
me
school.
down.
That was in middle school.
So yeah, just everyone had like, oh, you're gonna be a pastor and leading a church, and when you're 20,
Sure.
it's like, well, I don't know if I'm called to that. My dad may do that, but I don't know if I am. I might still be doing sound and worship in 2 years. Who knows?
Sure.
But yeah, just living that expectation of like, oh, are you a good pastor's kid or are you a bad pastor kid?
Sure.
That was really about it. That was the only like major thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And church life, being a pastor's kid, there's a bit pressure there, but you get used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't mess up, you're good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
For me, I have like two. One's like in school and then one's at home.
Yeah.
For in school, a lot of people like didn't like me because they were like, "Oh, you're a pastor's kid. Like, you're gonna judge me for this, or like you're gonna not be friends with me because of this." Not because I was a Christian, no, because like my dad's a pastor, basically.
Yeah.
So I like.
So it's your fault.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Too nice.
Yeah. Too nice. I had to, like, I feel like I had to have to prove myself more.
Yeah.
And, like, instead of just being, hey, this is who I am, I had to, like, kind of, like, force it upon people. Like, hey, like, I'm not just a pastor's kid. Like, obviously, Christianity is a big part of my life, but, like, there's more to me than that. And, like, I'm not going to judge you for who you are. Like, I'm going to love you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then at home, probably feeling like other people's lives were more of a priority than mine because people were constantly over. Like, oh, people are coming over, stay in your room for 4 hours. Like, oh, dad's on the phone, we can't talk to him right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's, like, for a really long time, I felt like I couldn't go to you guys because, or you guys are going to say it on a stage. Like, that's, like, a serious thing. Like, oh, I can't go to you guys because in a couple years, you're going to say it.
Yeah.
You guys are going to say it to other people and be like, oh, my kid went through this.
Yeah.
And also, like, being scared that I'm going to take time away from somebody else who I feel like deserves it more than me.
Sure.
So that's probably the main one, just, like, having that balance between, oh, like, this is my dad's, like, life, And I just have to realize that I am a very big part of it.
Yeah.
It's just, it looks different for me than for other families.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, that
If it's
one.
good material, it's good material.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
No, they get the
True.
joke
also
across.
good to know Nicole's in the long game, thinking about years in the future. Was he gonna say? Can we talk about this in 5 years?
I mean,
I mean, you did.
Is it that important?
right. It's urgent now.
So if you were talking to leaders, right? What would be the advice you would give them to make sure that their kids have cultivated a relationship with God, and they aren't those PKs, right? But they're the kind that love God, love the church, and love what God's doing. What would be the thing you would tell them to do?
I think the biggest thing that was very helpful for us is like you didn't allow us to piggyback on your guys' faith.
100%.
You didn't kind of force us into it, or you didn't allow us to kind of latch onto your guys' faith, and so that when you guys got taken away from that, we were on our own. You guys made us have our own faith, and you guys allowed us to do our own things, and you allowed us in decisions for the family, like Chandler was saying, or you had us pray on decisions and not tell us what to do. You guys, there's a lot of things where it's like you're on your own in this because this is your walk, this is your faith, so we don't want to have you piggyback on ours. So I think just allowing your kids to be independent, like not obviously just leaving them to the wolves, but walking alongside them, but not being too overpowering to where it's like they're latching onto your faith. Just kind of keeping it separate, but be together.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Actually, just let them be them.
Yeah.
Don't try and force a different type of Jesus on them because it's what you went through.
That's good.
Because if my dad tried to give me his Christianity, I don't know if it would have worked because I'm not my dad.
Yeah.
So I'd probably just tell them like, hey, let them be them. Let them find out who God is to them and how He changes in their life, not how He changed in your life, and try to put that on you.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
I think for me, something that you guys did that was great was that you said, if you don't feel comfortable going with us because we are like your leaders, here's this person you can go to. And that was Andrew and Angela for us.
Yeah.
And I feel like that helped me grow a lot because like you guys gave me another, like, what's the outlet? Is that the right word? And you guys, like, I knew that I was safe to talk to them and I could like ask them serious questions and like to pray for me. And that helped me grow a lot because then once like I figured that out, then I could go to you guys because like you guys, we had that balance between parents and leaders. And I feel like that's very, very important because I feel like some people as they grow up, they just see their parents as their leaders and they don't have that relationship because they're like, oh, this is my leader. I have to act this way in front of them and like say this and do this. And they have this view of me when in reality that's like probably not true. They love you and like they are your parents, but that's something that you guys did great was giving us like, hey, go to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're killing it. Killed it.
Yeah, man. What's up?
You guys did kill it. Look at us.
You did good. 2 of 3. 2 of 3 did good.
Wait, who's
We're still
not
praying.
good? Wow.
I'm
He's
joking.
got fixed. Let's see if Jesus can do the rest.
Wow.
That was cold.
That was
That was cold.
That was really good, Chandler.
Thanks.
We're good talk later.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Wow. You really. Wow. Wow. That was cold.
Austin, do you miss this?
It's hilarious.
That's a no.
I don't even know what to do.
So let me ask you this: it's the Christmas season, right? We know that is about the birth of Jesus and what He did for us, right? It's a celebration. If you could, Austin, tell us what Jesus means to you.
Like just in general.
Yeah.
I think to me it's like.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go for it. I don't know how to word it, but go for it.
Yeah, for me, he's like the backbone
Yeah.
for me. Because like if I'm like my friends are like, let's go do this. The cool kids are like, I I got priorities. I know what I'm called to. I know what I'm meant to be, and like I can always fall back on Jesus. Be like, I'd rather be with this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's cooler.
Amen.
He's the cool kid.
Amen.
So it's always like if I don't feel confident, I can always pray about it and step back with him and like I know like I'm not supposed to do drugs.
Right.
I know like the obvious stuff.
We don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Negative. Nope.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
Big no drug guy. But like if I'm going through a rough time or like have a rough day, I can be like, all right, God, how's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? So it's always like I know I can just step back and go with him and step into his presence, and it's gonna be changing me.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like genuine, friend and father. Like he's a very genuine person, and he's always gonna be alongside of me. And just like Chandler said about him guiding you, it's like he's always there with you and making sure that you aren't just on your own to the wolves. Right? He's gonna, and I know like if I do something bad, he's gonna come after me just like the sheep that the one out of 99. So just knowing that it's a relationship. It's not just like I need to worship him because he's this God and all that stuff. It's like I worship him because he's my friend, he's my father, and he's alongside me. Like it's a relationship, and I love him as if he was my own father because he is. But it's like it's not this semi weird love. It's like genuine. So
Yeah, that's good. For me, kind of what Austin said, it means like never-ending love.
Yeah.
Because like I go through seasons of just like feeling really alone and like, oh, nobody has ever gone through what I'm going through. Because like I'm a teenage girl. My life is so hard.
Your Love Island contestant got voted off.
The last episode was so hard for me. It just means that I'm never alone.
Yeah.
In that there's always going to be someone there to listen to me and like never gonna judge me, always gonna love me, always gonna forgive me.
Yeah.
So it means just like that never-ending love.
So good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's really good. I think it's important. It's a Christmas special, and in that we're celebrating who Jesus is. But I think it's also a time of gratitude, right? A time of appreciation. Obviously, me and Mom are incredibly grateful for all three of you.
Yes.
But if you could tell Mom something that probably the one thing about her you appreciate the most.
Yeah, I think for me, it's about how it's like I don't know how to word it without it kind of being, but like she's no bull crap. It's like this is how it is. Yeah. Like we don't play games. This is how it's gonna get done.
Yeah, but
it's
if you
like
want tough love, go
it's
to her.
and it's very
Yeah.
not that way, but it's like
I mean.
but it's like if you mess up, you mess up, and she's gonna tell you that you messed up, and she's gonna take care of you and love you. Yeah. Or if it's like if somebody comes at you, she's gonna come at that like this, this is my baby. Don't take that. Listen. I never got kicked off football because of.
Right, yeah.
So it's just like she's always there for you, but she's got your back.
Yeah.
And no matter how bad you think it is, or no matter how bad it actually is, like Mom's got your back.
Yeah.
So you could always run back to Mom and like, hey Mom, I need help. Mom, I'm going through something. Help me.
Mom, how do I do laundry?
Basically little stuff like that, or like big things like, hey, this person said this about me. Like, what do I do? Or I'm going through this. Like my grades are like this and stuff like that. So just making sure that she always made sure you're okay, but she was like, I don't play these games.
Yeah.
She took care of you.
Yeah.
How about you, Chad?
She was always very consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you did something, you knew how. If you didn't do it, you knew how it was going to turn out.
Oh yeah.
And like if you needed help from her, you knew she was going to be by your side.
Yeah.
So, no matter like what time of day, what season it was always like, Mom. If I ask Mom this is what's gonna come out. She's, doing this. I know I can get away with this.
Yeah. You learn the ropes.
Someone does this, I know she's gonna do this. She was always very consistent. She never wavered in what she believed or how she stood with us.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mine is that she's genuinely my best friend.
Yeah.
Because she does like all of these little things, like come into my room and just like to hang out with me, or she comes in to just say goodnight, and that she loves me and that she's always there to like listen to me and go to Target, and she just does all of these little things that for a while I thought that I would never experience. So for me, it's not like well, obviously it's like she loves me. That she's my mom.
Yeah.
But that she genuinely isn't just my mom. She is my best friend, and like she's gonna do all these little things for me, and that she like shows that she loves me in a different way than she does the boys.
Yeah.
And yeah, so mine is that she's my best friend.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
can I start over? So she's like my best friend.
My best friend. She's my most consistent best friend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So, same question. What with your dad? For your dad, what would be one of the growing up and looking back? What was the one thing that you appreciated the most about him?
He was always relevant. Because if I was into something, he was into it.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm like struggling with God, he went through it, and I know that I can talk to him. I usually go to Jordan because I don't know why. I don't like going to you guys for stuff. I'm too close. It's too personal.
Yeah.
So but like if I'm going through something, I know my dad's probably gone through it.
Yeah.
Because he's gone through this journey as a young teenage adult with a hard life.
Yeah.
But yeah, if like, with video games, it's always trying to, just try and hang out with us. Try and spend as much time with us as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's one of the funner things of kind of growing up in the house with Dad was just the random conversations are like, literally like you'll be sitting there watching TV, and then he'll talk to you about God, like this is the revelation I've had. It's massive, it's huge. And then he'll like go downstairs, love you guys, come back up, he's like, and also about that, like this is what's happened, like
Never
because they were
ends.
on the boat like this. So like just like kind of always everything was about God and just watching him, grow in his faith and kind of become the man he was. Because like I remember a little bit of Dad before he was saved, and like
me too.
we kind of were doing things. We kind of did a lot of things together in the beginning of our faith, like the summer internship. And so like watching that and seeing him grow into the man he is today, like I know it sounds like I'm his dad right now, but it's like seeing that transformation was awesome, and kind of being involved in that household where it was happening was really cool, just because you were constantly like, this new revelation's happening. I was up all night reading this book, and this is what's happening. And so that was always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
It's
me,
always fun.
Yeah.
For me, it's Dad always knew a way to talk to me and like to calm me down in a way that Mom didn't.
Yeah.
Because Mom and I are very similar. We get worked up super easily.
Yeah.
We both like to win.
Hey, can we clip that? Can we clip that? Can we keep
And
that?
Dad just always knew how to like set me back into reality and like tell me, oh, like what you're thinking isn't like totally incorrect, but did you think about it this way? And like show me a new perspective. And he just like always knew how to make me think realistically instead of like, oh, I want this. This is like what needs to happen. So probably that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what I hear is I'm the best friend.
Yeah.
And Dad's the spiritual guidance. Batman and Robin. Yeah. Batman's gonna kick your butt. Robin's gonna be your friend about it.
Wow. Okay, never mind.
Well, guys,
Chores. Only get help.
I'm out. I'm good.
listen. This is for me and Mom. Just so grateful for you guys.
Yeah.
And, incredibly grateful for what God's done in our lives.
Yeah.
And when you think about leading your home and being in a
Being
home,
there.
right? What are the? I want to end with this question. What are the things that God's called you to carry in your home when you move out 10 years from now?
Sounds all right.
Oh gosh.
It's a hard question.
It's a deep question.
It's a little deep.
Austin, you go.
No, I'll go first. I think just kind of, and Jed kind of talked to me about this when me and Olivia were getting ready to get married. It's like, bathing your wife in the Word.
Yeah.
Just kind of doing that in everyday life, like bathing my days in the Word,
Yeah.
and making sure that I know the truth of who God is and the things that I read in the Bible today, how to apply them to this, and how they shape my faith. Like just bathing my life in the Word and making sure that everything that is involved in it is surrounded by that. so that God's always in the center of it, and He's not just playing a part of it, but He's like the main role of it. You know, like,
Yeah.
like everybody's like, I'm the main part of my movie. It's like, I want God to be the star of my movie.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
good.
like I want to be a character, a supporting
Robin.
actor.
Yeah.
Like Robin. I'm Jesus' Robin. I will take that 100%.
I'll be his butler.
Right? So like being the supporting actor and that, having him as the
Yeah.
main actor in my life and surrounding that in my life, I think is how I want to carry my household, because I would love it if my kids would do the same, as like having Jesus at the center of their life.
Yeah.
Just because I know how beneficial it was to me, especially in those crazy years of 13 to 18
Yeah.
or 13 to
Right.
22. You know, I'm still in the middle, but just trying to work on that. It's just having that as the middle.
Yeah, I'd want to make sure God's presence is still there.
Yeah.
Because when I like don't want to move out and then just become a Sunday worshiper.
Yeah.
I'm going to church because it's what we do.
Right.
I always want to make sure that I'm still in touch with God, and
Yeah.
still be making sure that my wife is still in touch with God, and that
Yeah.
I'm not just going to church to go to church. That I'm actually talking with Jesus Sunday through Sunday,
Yeah.
and not just going to church to go to church.
So good.
So yeah, just making sure he's still relevant in our lives on days that aren't Sunday.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's good.
So this is what God has called you to do in your home, right?
Yeah.
Like as you're married, or
Yeah.
just like
well, just your home. Yeah.
well, for
With
me,
all your cats.
with all my cats, yes, all 22 of them. Honestly, I don't know if this is a correct answer, but just being a listener and
Yeah.
like listening to God and like
Yeah.
encouraging who I'm married to and like my kids to also listen to God, because
Yeah.
I feel like it's super easy to like ramble and just be like, okay, I'm done. I don't want your answer. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I just wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
So like showing and like being an influence and being an example on how you should like listen to God and be like, okay, I know that's easy to just like walk away, but like don't do that, because like if you don't walk away, then great things are gonna come. So I guess that not. I feel like mine is not as good.
It was
as theirs.
really
Holy
weird for me
cow.
to listen to you talk about your husband. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't love that. You're 17 years old taking time.
We're just talking.
Listen. Jesus was on it. Nickole, you're 35. You're good.
You got your
You
cats.
can
You're
wait
just
till you're
sad.
35. We'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, this has been really
yes,
fun.
so good. So good.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do
Thank
this.
you guys.
Love you.
Love you
Love
guys
you.
so much.
Love you too.